Can you all see my screen?
Just say yes in the chat if you can see the screen. We just want to make sure everybody can see the screen. Hi, everyone.
So if you can see the screen, please just say yes in the chat so that I will know.
There's a little chat box.
Okay,
yes, awesome. They can see the screen. All right, thank you.
We just get it started. Thank you for joining us. Just as a way of introduction, the purpose of this.
Oh, somebody said yes, but not legible. It should be. Maybe it's probably a network, but it should be. It should clear up. No, it looks good from my end. I just said, like, I think.
Okay. So I'm going to continue. The purpose of this webinar is just to tell you, whoever that has been impacted with the coronavirus layoff that we are currently experiencing here in the United States, to tell you and let you know that you are not alone. And that's the first thing. And the second thing is to help you by helping to guide you so that you can get back up. And that's why we call this getting back up after layoff. We all know that layoff, it can be very emotional. It can be very, very painful. But how do we handle it, considering the situation that we are currently facing? But for me, as always, your safety should be the priority, and that of your family. And I want to encourage everyone to, despite all the pains that you may be feeling, despite the hurt, I want to encourage you to just try not to worry too much. So I'll quickly go into the agenda. So for today, we are going to be talking about do's and don'ts of layoff. We'll talk about financial planning during layoff. And next time, because we really want to get everyone engaged and talk, next time we are going to be talking about getting back strategies. And we have short-term, medium-term, and long-term plan. So that's the way we are going to run this seminar. Dr. Leke, if you want to add anything to that, please feel free.
Just like I said, I think you've touched a lot. So thanks for everyone. I mean, these are trying times for sure in the whole world. And sometimes when we are faced with crisis, we let our emotions get the best of us. But, as children of God, we shouldn't fear. Like, the most important thing is, what do I do moving forward, right? There's a difference between failing and failure, right? So if you fail, it doesn't mean you're a failure. And if you understand that, the most important thing is what you do right now will determine what your life will look like another year or two from now. And if you use that as a yardstick moving forward, challenges and crises are supposed to make us stronger, right? So in these challenging times, some people will, withdraw because they don't know what to do. But the most important thing is knowledge, right? If you have the knowledge, you will see that people are thriving even in this difficult time because they're looking for other opportunities. Just because one door closes doesn't mean the world is ended, right? But that's what we're trying to get here through this webinar, to show you that there's hope, right? But if you equip yourself with knowledge during a crisis, then you can become successful, even despite all the odds.
Okay. So really, we looked at what's your situation out there. There are 3 ways people can lose their job. If you have been fired, that may be due to your actions or inaction, maybe performance, character, or personal issues. For that one, we will just, the only advice is to learn the lesson and make sure that you know how to get back up. But if you have been impacted by this COVID-19 layoff, this is not your fault. This is due to strategic business decision because of the slowdown in the economy. Let's take a look at it. For example, let's say if you work in the hospitality business or maybe airline, there are limited number of flights right now. There are limited number of people that are traveling right now. So that business has been severely impacted by the reduction in the number of people that are moving from one place to another. So for the business to continue, they have to make strategic and often difficult decision to lay off people because, of course, they need to maintain profitability. One thing that I want to say here is that if you lose your job due to this layoff, I want you to get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and know that the fact that you've been laid off, you are not a failure, like Dr. Leke just said. It's not your fault. It is what it is. It is the situation that we've all found ourselves in the world. And there's Furlough. Furlough, I think the government, they typically use this. And it's just an extended leave of absence from job. The deal with Furlough is that they will call you back as soon as the business is ready to start again. So those are the three differences that we quickly want to talk about. So if you have been laid off, there are do's and don'ts of layoff, and I'll quickly talk about it. The first thing, of course, is you need connection. So make sure you leave your contacts information with your manager. And if you haven't done so already, please reach out to your manager. The reason for this is that when they are ready, because the world is not going to continue like this forever. Things will change, vaccines will be found, cure will be found, and the world will return to normal. We all pray so. The deal is that we don't know when. So when your company is about to get back up and start business as usual again, the people that the manager can quickly reach out to, those are the people that the managers or the leadership of the business we want to talk to. So that's the first thing. Make sure you leave your contacts with your manager, and also try to network with your colleague. And this time, if your situation is that you want to start looking for another job, make sure you get reference letters from your employer. So that's what you need to do. And it's a very emotional thing. So make sure that you talk to people that you can trust. Maybe it's your pastor, maybe it's maybe a brother in the church, or anyone that you can talk to. Don't bottle the pain, the hurt within yourself, and thinking that without talking, it's just going to go away. This is a time as brethren we can connect with one another. We can reach out to one another to make sure that we are there for ourselves. So that's very important. So those are the do's. Don't do this. Don't badmouth your old employer. Don't go on any social media and post any bad image, any bad information about your employer. Maybe, hey, this company, I've worked with them for 20 years. They let me go. They are bad people. The manager is a crazy guy. Let's not do this, because you don't know what may happen in the next 3 months. If you are posting all this negative information, some other employer will not want to take you on. Let's say there are opportunities in future. And this is what they do most of the time. They can look at all your messages, everything that you put online. The deal is, if you don't want anything to be known in public, please don't post it online. That's the simple message. And don't entertain fear. The first thing that will happen if someone loses their job is that they'll be afraid. What will I do? How will I take care of my family? And these are real things that we can talk about. But don't let it fear, don't let it stop you from moving forward. And more importantly, you shouldn't lose hope. If we lose hope, that means you are thinking there is no other job. I know that maybe you are working and you are earning $200,000 right now and you lost that job. You may think that there is nothing left for you out there. So my message is, don't lose hope. Always think positively. Always stay optimistic, and the future will be better. So I'm going to roll into the next slide. And this is where Dr. Leke will talk about financial planning during layoff.
So the most important thing is that when, in these times, right? So how do we get back up, right? You lost your job or things are difficult, right? People, we have about 40 million people right now that's lost their job, right? So psychologically, the first thing is, so I work in the emergency department, and my training is even if somebody came in and their arm is completely cut off, right? For the regular person, they'll panic, right? They'll freak out, but my training has trained me that, my job is to focus on saving that person's life, regardless of what they're coming in with. And I have seen the most traumatic things in life that most people don't. So the most important thing is first take a break. All right. Of course, whatever, you're going to go through like PTSD, right? Some people might go through depression, anxiety, worry. How am I going to pay the bills, take care of my children? Like all these things, these are normal human emotions, and make sure you get help, right? Pray, talk to your pastor, like, let it out, right? Don't keep all these emotions to yourself. All right. That's horrible. Okay. And then, now start to strategize. It's time to plan and start to organize. All right. And the first thing is like, do you have a budget? Right. And I think when we had the training session last year in our Kingsmen webinars that we do in church, and we talk about financial success. And I'm a Dave Ramsey's fan. Like, I love the guy. And we talk about reevaluating your budget, right? So the first thing is sit down with your loved ones, your family member, your kids, or your wife, and say, okay, guys, how much do we spend every month? Okay. If all your bills every month is, let's say, $3,000 or $2,500, list all of them, right? Your rent, all your expenses, right? And list all your liabilities. And if you don't know how to do that, it's really, really easy. So there's a little, you can use Excel spreadsheet and do it, piece of paper, it doesn't matter. But the whole idea is get a clear picture, like how much money do I need every month for us to, have the basics, right? Food, shelter, and not become homeless, right? And let's say your mortgage right now, you can't afford to pay your mortgage, right? Call the mortgage company. There's a lot of relief right now with mortgage companies. They defer your payments for another couple of months because you lost your job. Like, take action, right? Just call the bank, right? Tell them, listen, I lost my job. So that's important. At least that you're not homeless. And if you don't have food, all right, like, reach out. Like, the church has like a food bank. Don't be ashamed. It's okay. That's totally fine. All right. And then look at your budget and see things you can cut off, right? Cable, unnecessary expenses, like subscriptions that are eating your budget every month that at this point in time you actually don't need, right? Once you get rid of those, then look at the only thing that really, really matters, right? If you even have like two cars and one car is way too expensive and that car note is like killing you every month, like $500, sell the car. Like, sell the car, get the equity, get pay cash for the other car so that you're not having to find another $500 a month that you don't have. So that, if you have a 2018 car, maybe get a 2014 or 2013 car, right? So that at least that you can be able to sleep better at night, okay? Know when your bills are due, right? So another thing is, like, I know exactly when my mortgage is due, my electricity, water, every month. So I know how much money I have to have by that certain date, right? So that's your target. You can have a clear understanding, like, all right, by the 15th of the month, all our bills are due, right? The water, the cell phone bill. If you have too many, like, bunch of cell phones that, if you can go to T-Mobile and consolidate, T-Mobile has a special package, which is cheaper. Some people are using Verizon, right? Verizon is nice and cute, but they're very expensive, right? T-Mobile, will have 4 people on one plan, and you can get it for $120 or $140 a month, or 4 people, right? So yeah, their service might not be the greatest, but listen, the idea is to cut, unnecessary expenses. All right. If you have credit cards, reach out to your creditors, right? Tell them, listen, I don't, what can I do, to defer my payments and things like that. Those are all the important things that you have to kind of focus on right now, so that you have a clear understanding what you need to do moving forward. I think there's one more thing before that slide I missed.
Let me go back.
I think we've talked about that. Well, take care of the essentials. So we talk about housing, feeding, utilities, and health, right? So we'll talk about the health insurance part like later in the next slide. So what you do with regards to health insurance. Okay, you can go to the next. So here's the question, right? Financial planning is very, very important, right? You wonder, what do we have, right? Some people, you get if you get laid off, some companies will give you a severance package, right? They're like, all right, we'll pay you $30,000 or $50,000 or $100,000, whatever amount of money. Like, this is your severance package. So when you get that money, plan accordingly. Like, how much would this money last me? But if you don't have a budget, that money will go like this, right? Because if you have a budget for the month and say, all right, this $50,000 is my employer gave me, I can actually stretch it out for the next 3 or 4 months, all right, or 5 months or 6 months, right? Based on what we have and what we've been able to remove. And if you have an emergency fund, we've talked about this in one of our webinar presentations we did at Kingsmen last year. So, this is the reason, right? We talk about having an emergency fund. Emergencies will come, guys. Like, as Christians, there's this Chinese proverb that says, the Chinese use 2 brush strokes to write the word crisis, right? One brush stroke stands for danger. The other one is for opportunity. In crisis, be aware of the danger, but recognize the opportunity, all right? And as Christians, I always tell.
So, Dr. Leke, I think someone raised their hand. Maybe they want to ask a question.
Okay.
Maybe we can take that question.
So,
Suzanne Adewale.
Yeah, we're gonna open.
Or you can type it. You can
type your questions in the chat.
Yeah, leave your question in chat, please.
So the key important thing is that crisis will always come, right? That's part of life. Like, some of us in life is just an evolving things, right? It's either you're coming out of one crisis, going to another crisis, or when the crisis is about to happen. That's all we deal with all the time. So as Christians, we should understand that. Like, listen, we should have an emergency fund. An emergency fund ideally should last you 6 months or 3 months of your pay, like enough to last you for 3 or 6 months if you're not working. And this is the time for you to reevaluate your life, right? Like, if you're working in America, you've been there for 5, 10 years, and say, I don't have an emergency fund. And here's an emergency that we now have. Wouldn't it be nice to have a cushion of cash that you've saved up for the last 5 or 6 years, even if you're putting $50 away a month, okay? So if you have one, then use it. Check if you have any savings, right? If you have savings, this is an opportunity to use your savings. There are also other sources of income. Now, I wouldn't recommend this, but if you have a investment like 401k or something like that, and you really don't have any more money, you can take out part of that money, but you're gonna pay tax, capital gains tax on that money, and also they charge you 10% of early withdrawal. If you have that, at least you have something to sustain yourself while this pandemic lasts. Okay. And then what can you get, right? So apply for unemployment benefit. Like, go to the Texas workforce website, okay, and basically apply for unemployment benefits so you can get some money from the government every month. Create your profile, apply within a week of you being laid off, and they'll cover you up to 26 weeks. Okay, that's another source of income you can get in the meantime. When it comes to health insurance, so if you work for a company that give you health insurance before, you can apply for COBRA option. So COBRA it's a short-term health insurance that you can still use your employer's previous health insurance even after you've left them. And I think it lasts about 18 months or something. You have to pay for it. It's a little bit more expensive than what your employer normally gives you. So I'll be just giving you honest feedback about that. But if you have the money to be able to afford it, maybe from your severance fee or something like that, it's better to have health insurance because, I tell you guys, so for some strange reason, when crises like this happen, people get sick a lot. And when you go to the hospital, it's an expensive bill. Like, one night in the hospital, you can come out with $10,000 easily. You come and see me in the ER just for like a little thing, you can get a bill for $2,000, just like that. So don't play with that. Also apply for Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. Go on their website. So anytime like you lose your job, it's a life-changing event. So you can apply for a health insurance and see if you can qualify and get health insurance. Another thing is expand your network, right? Spread the news, talk to people, right? Layoff is not a stigma, guys. Like, it's an opportunity for you to get back up. And the more people you talk to, the more the opportunities you're going to find out in the world. Okay. Reach out to those who can help you. And that's the most important thing you can do. All right. I think we've covered that slide, and we can move to the next one.
So the short summary of this financial planning during layoff is for you to be able to assess the amount that you can have and know how long that money will last you. This is important because let's say after the layoff, you realize that you have $30,000 and you only need $5,000 each month. That means that $30,000 will last you for 6 months. That will help you in two ways. First, you will not panic because you know that there's money to take care of your lifestyle, right? Your living expenses. And two, it will give you the time to start preparing for your next move as per making money. So, and that's how we go to the next presentation. And that's, we put it like short-term plan. So now we've put the finances, we are organized in terms of our finances. We know how to plan our money. The next thing is, what's the next? What do we want to do next? Are we going to start submitting job application again? In my opinion, there are over 36 million people that have lost their jobs right now. So if you are, while it's okay to apply, you just have to be strategic about it. So before now, I know that when you are looking for a job, it's a job on its own. And I always advise people to put in at least 8 hours each day applying for jobs and looking for jobs. But in this economy, that may not be the best approach. For me, the best approach is maybe I'll dedicate 1 or 2 hours to applying for jobs and looking for the next thing. But other 6, 10 hours, I'm going to be using it to find a way of creating money for myself. And that's why we said we need to think outside the box. I have a friend that we work together. He has lost his job like 3 times. We are both in the oil industry. He has lost his job like 3 different times. For me, is the question to ask is this a good time to think about industry change? If you find out that your industry is not as stable as it used to be, let's say you've been working in the coal industry, coal is going to go eventually. We just need to know the trend. So you can consider industry change. There's this story of Pat Flynn. Pat Flynn is a podcaster. He lost his job during the 2008 economic meltdown. But this guy, from that experience, like Dr. Leke said, he turned that crisis into opportunity. Today, this guy is a millionaire because he was able to think outside the box and he started creating passive income for himself. There are opportunities to study free online today, and this is part of our strategy of thinking outside the box. If you look at Coursera, edX, Lynda, or Udemy, you can practically go on any of these websites and learn any new skills. And these are the skills that will help you to position you for your next job opportunity. One other thing that we need to do is to question assumptions. I'm an employee. I make most of my money as an employee, but we do not all have to be employee. Maybe you went to school as an electrical engineer. You can start something and maybe a medical supply store, or you can become a retailer. You should question assumptions. By questioning assumptions, you are opening up your creative mind to think outside the box in order for you to plan a way of earning money. And we all know that the economy that we have right now is not stable. COVID has changed the world. We don't know what's going to happen in the next year or two, but we have to be proactive as we move forward in terms of looking for the next opportunity. The summary here is that you shouldn't have to be an employee. You can think about creating your own business or starting something aside. I'm going to quickly share a video just to encourage us. Please let me know if you can see my screen. This is Pat Flynn that I just mentioned. I'm going to play his video.
Get good grades, they said.
Can you hear it?
Go to college, get a state.
Okay, good.
Job, work hard, they said. Climb the ladder, then retire, they said. This was my plan. But then, June 17th, 2008, my boss calls me into his office, and they said, "We're sorry. we have to let you go. So much for my plan. We have to let you go. Have you ever thought about how silly that is to say to somebody about to lose their job? We'll let you go. Like I was asking my parents for permission to go to a friend's house. Can I go, please? Oh yeah, we'll let you go. I didn't want to go. I was getting out. I was confused. I was angry at a lot of people, including myself. I was worried about my future. But getting laid off showed me new opportunities, new potential beginnings, new ideas. But every single time I got a new idea, I would get in my own way. I would have something in my head say, no, are you crazy? You can't do that. You're not qualified to do that. This is not what you were meant to do. Why are you even thinking that way? Every single time. The self-doubt, the excuses, the resistance showed up every single time. Can you relate to this? Have you ever tried to start something new only to be stopped by your own self-doubt and excuses? If so, well, I want to tell you something that I wish somebody told me when I was battling my own inner demons. You're not alone. I'm Pat Flynn, and 10 years ago, I was let go from my dream job as an architect. And I didn't know it at the time, but it was the best thing that could ever happen to me. And yes, getting let go was hard. I lost my job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was about to get married. How was I going to pay for this wedding? I didn't know what my future was going to hold. But at the same time, I opened up my eyes to opportunities that were right there in front of me the whole time. New doors started to open up for me, which was the hardest part about this whole situation was the fact that I wasn't ready to let go of who I thought I was supposed to be. I was holding on to the past, and that was stopping me from moving forward. And it wasn't until I let go and I fully committed to this new path in my life, I finally start to see success from all that. It's amazing. And when I let go, I did things I wouldn't normally do. But as a result, things happened that wouldn't have normally happened. I built an online business. I put myself out there and I started to build a little bit of a following. But most important of all, if it weren't for letting go, I wouldn't have the freedom and the flexibility to spend most of my time with my wife and my kids, and even attempt bigger missions to help those in need all around the world. You know, it was my boss who let me, but it was I who had to let go in order for things to work out. June 17th, what I call it. I celebrate this day every single year, but this year is really special because it's the 10-year anniversary since that blessing in disguise. And to celebrate, I'm excited to introduce you to the first ever physical version and hardcover edition of my book.
So I'm going to stop it there. The purpose of sharing Pat Flynn's story is that just like we are experiencing now, he was let go of his job, which was a very painful experience, if you ask. But letting go, according to him and what we all know now, is not the end of the world. You also have to let the employer go, and you must think creatively so that you can find a way of making money. This guy, when he was let go as an architect, he decided to, he wrote an exam. Maybe architects, they have this maybe board exam. So he made an online course to train other people. And from that course, he made much more money within a month than he could make in 3 years as an employee. So letting go, even though it's painful, even though it's hurting, shouldn't stop you from thinking outside the box to find your next path. So that's the message that we want to pass across there. I'm going to move to the next one. Now, let's talk about how we can quickly make money. Dr. Leke.
All right, guys, let's make some money. All right. Who doesn't like money here? Right? Isn't that what we all get up to go to work for every single day of our lives? Yet it's the least amount of things people talk about in their homes. It's because of the way we've been trained, right? We don't feel comfortable talking about money, but come on. All right. If we don't have money, everybody's broke and everybody hates being broke. So the most important thing in today's world is you have to have more skills that you went to school for. That's the only way you're gonna thrive. Did you know right now, our children, they have no idea the world they're living in. And we, even as parents, have no idea the kind of world that has been created by technology. That today, people, companies, right? They're hiring people in India for $3 an hour, $2 an hour for the same job our children went to school for to graduate, right? And be an engineer or all these degrees that we have, that somebody in Malaysia is gonna do it for like, $5, right? So this is a whole world of freelancing out there because of technology. People can help you write a book in minutes. Somebody can help you get your manuscript, your design, your logo, your banner done for $5, $10. And this is the world we live in today. So it's so fast that our skills get obsolete in a matter of days or months. So the most important thing is learn a new skill, okay? Now you might say, okay, how do I do that? Well, let me share my screen. So there's something called freelance, right? So freelancing basically you can work from home, right? Let me see here. I'm gonna try to share my screen.
All right, so you should be able to share.
Okay. Host. Okay, you have to make me back the host because I think you know what? I'll make myself. I can't do that. Click on my name and more, and then make me the host back because I think I made you the host now.
Okay.
You see participants under panelist, and then just click the drop down on my name and make me back the host. So while he does that, so there's a website called Fiverr, right? I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have seen some of their ads online where whatever skill set that you have that you can offer the world, all right? Okay, I think I'm the host now. You can actually literally leverage that and make money online. All right, let me pull up my slide here. So what I've done here is I wanted to show you, let's say for example, I need a design, right? And just, some of you think I'm a doctor. I'm actually a doctorpreneur, all right? I am an entrepreneur like to the core, right? I go to work in the ER, but 99% of the time I'm home working on my business every single day for the last 10 years. So I'll give you a perfect example. This is my company. This is just one, I have 5 of them. This is one of my businesses, right? So I went to school. I noticed that I was really good at teaching people, right? That's God gave me that gift. I can read anything and explain it in very, very easy way, right? And after a while, I used to post video on YouTube. And one day somebody said, "Hey, are you getting paid for this?" I'm like, "Getting paid? I don't know what that means." And that was when the light bulb went in my head. So the first thing, you have to have passion for what you're doing, something you're really good at, all right? It's almost like that. If you read that Bible story where it talks about people who have 5 talents and 2 talents and 1 talent, right? Like, the people who turn their 5 talents into 10 talents are the entrepreneurs. And the same guy that had the 2 talents that made it into 4 talents is the entrepreneur that Jesus was talking about. The only problem is when they tell us that story, they don't put it in context, right? It's kind of like Limex. So anyway, let's say, I wanted to design this website, right? Or I wanted a banner or something like that, okay? I literally would go on Fiverr. And for example, if I needed that help, right? But let's say for you, if you needed to become that freelancer, you can click join, and you can join with your Facebook or Google account, all right? And once you join, I can say I need a logo for my business, right? And when I come and I need somebody, look at all these people right here that they design logos for people. Now, you might not be a logo designer. You might be a writer. You could be something, right? And let's say I look at this guy and say, oh, this guy has 4.9 stars. He has 5.0, so 246. Let me click on this guy and see what he does, right? And this is his profile. He offers basic, standard, and premium offers, right? For basics, I can get a logo design for $35, right? Real quick. Okay, and he puts all his samples here, all right? And there's a lot of Nigerians on this platform, believe it or not, that I actually found, even in Nigeria, that are on Fiverr, and you can basically charge people for your services through Fiverr. They can contact you, they'll email you. I'll probably even log in with my account here. I can see real quick. And there's so many options, right? Just to give you an idea, the amount of different skill set that they offer, right? People do programming and tech, mobile apps, desktop application, data analysis, cybersecurity, right? Okay, maybe that's not you. What about graphic design, logo, art, illustration, portraits, tattoo design, packaging, book design, visual design. Okay, maybe that's not you. Well, what about digital marketing? Do you know anything about digital marketing? Okay, if you don't know anything about that, what about writing? Do you know how to write articles, translation, online languages, proofreading, editing, resume writing? I mean, look at the amount of skill sets that people can offer you and do your work for you. Legal writing, creative writing, email copy, right? Okay, what about videos and animations? I can get anybody on this website to do my logos and my visual effects for me, right? For $10, $20, $30, $40, $50. What about music? If you're into music, maybe you're a producer, you could do voiceovers, right? Music transcription, dialogue editing, right? What about business, right? You gotta have one of these skills, right? And then you can post your profile on this page and people can find you and then offer you jobs and you make money from home. People are doing this all over the entire world, all right? And you can find your own industry, okay? Now, let's say you don't even have any skills. That would be very rare, right? Then go and learn it. You can literally go on this website and say, what skill can I learn? And then go on places like Udemy, right? I go to Udemy all the time. You can buy a course for $59. So they usually do a sale for $10, so you can wait for that sale to kick in. And you can buy courses here, right? Like I bought this complete digital marketing course and I learned digital marketing on my own, okay? I don't use EDX, but this is another website, edx.org. You can also use Coursera, okay? But a lot of people I love Udemy a lot because they offer this $10 plan and, sometimes you can get it for $10, but that's when they do their sales. So you start to learn something new. Open your mind to a world of learning, okay? And they'll get the work done for you. Okay, if you don't know, if we want to use Fiverr, there's another website called Upwork, okay? So Upwork is basically where all these freelancers in the world are on, right? They post their profile, people can find you. So if I need anything done, right? If I need a website design, I'll go here. I'm like, well, I need somebody to help me design my website. So I go to website development, right? And you can search, like you create an account and you can say, need a website. I'm just giving an example here, right? And look at all these people's profiles popping up, right? People in India, people all over, the world, right? That you can hire to help you do your work for you. But you can be that person. So that's how you make money, right? Because all these people put their profiles up and somebody will find you and that's how you start your online.
So Dr. Leke, just if you hold it a little over there, you can see the first person, Rob P. He had made over $100,000. Of course, I don't know, maybe that took him 2 years or 3 years. The message is that you can make money on this platform. The next person has made 200K.
Right.
Just maybe sitting
$200,000 just on working online. And what does he do? He said he's a copywriter. He writes email copies and copywriting for people, and he's made over $200,000. Right? You can scroll. Even this guy that's making $20 an hour, right? And he lives in Illinois, has made $4,000 online, right? You can see that there's opportunities. We just have to find them, put yourself. Now, did I say it's gonna be easy? No. Will it take time? Yes. But if you don't put yourself out there, nobody will know you exist. You must be willing to jump and take the risk, all right? And people are doing this. Look, she's made $100,000 a year over the time she's been here. And this is the opportunities that we're trying to show you to open your mind to different opportunities out there, okay? There's another website called freelancer.com, okay? I'm just giving you guys, save these websites. It's gonna take you time to go through them, but you can pick one platform, multiple platforms, put yourself out there, and this is another freelancer.com. I use it a lot, right? You can get people to do work for you, and you can also be the same person. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Now, what about YouTube, right? Listen, your cell phone can make you millions of dollars. I know it sounds crazy, it will take time, but if you know how to cook, right? You can start a YouTube channel today. Really, literally. You go on YouTube, create a free account with your Gmail account, and start to record the things you do on a daily basis. Like if you like cooking, whatever skill set, and like, so for example, let me look at Nigerian pawpaw. I know you guys might laugh because I actually like to make Nigerian pawpaw. Look at this lady. Her name is Sisi Yemi. She has 1.4 million views in 3 years. Do you know how much money she makes from ads? Let me show you how Google pays you. Once you start to post your video every day, right? So I'll go here to learn how to make puff and, make it at home. Now, look, she has 31.3 million views, 292,000 subscribers. She's posted 669 videos. Guess what she does? She just cooks and posts videos. And every time you see those advertisements run on her channel, she's getting paid. When you click on an ad on somebody's channel, Google pays you. And she could be making up to $10,000 a month from this easily. Okay. Now, does it take time? Yes. This is not a quick fix. This is not a get rich quick. No, it will take time. It may take you 5 years, 10 years. But once you learn how to do this, find something you love and put yourself out there and watch the magic happen. And you have to love it. If you don't love it, there'll be dark moments and it's easy to give up. Okay. So let's get back to the slides. I wanted to show you guys that and kind of see what other opportunities we have.
So you can make me the host again. So that.
Yeah, let me make you the host. There we go.
So, okay. So show me the money. You still want to talk about the temporary and contract job.
So that's how you can temporarily quickly make money in the short term, right? Become a freelancer online. Start a YouTube channel. You know, that would take a little bit of time before you become a partner. I think once you hit about, 1,000 subscribers or something, they make you a partner and Google will send you a card in the mail. And then, they'll start to pay you once they start to run advertisement in your channel. You can open up the slide because share your screen now.
Oh, can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, I'm not sharing.
There we go. All right. So let's show me the money, right? So what can you do in the short term, right? Right now, right? Check out job boards, right? You can still apply for jobs. But listen, when you apply for jobs, one thing I want us to all take away from this is, one of my wife sent me this quote yesterday. I thought I wanted to share with you guys. And it was by, let me actually tell you, I'll tell you about this other opportunity, but she said, let me find it. All right, here it is. So if you think being an entrepreneur is risky, try working for someone else for 40 years and living off Social Security. Okay. Now, I love that because a lot of us, just like, they told me, go to school, become a doctor, you can make good money. Yes, that's true. But listen, nothing is guaranteed. If you start your own business, if you can, start something you're passionate about, solve a problem in the world, right? People will pay you for your service. You know how many people's house I go to in Houston that they're cooking and they're making so much money. They don't even leave their house. There's this guy that makes suya that I used to go to his house and we order suya from him. He only makes suya inside his garage. And he told me that he's so busy, he had to quit his job. But he makes really the best suya in town, period, right? He's making money from his home, something he enjoys doing, right? So that's the key. People love suya, which is a problem, right? He's solving the problem. So that's, don't go into business that you don't know. That's the problem with a lot of people. They don't know business, they just want to jump into it. Be passionate about it before you launch and jump into it and learn a lot about it. So anyway, let's talk about the temporary things, all right? Check out job boards. Still apply for a job because you need to make a living, all right? You can start to deliver for Amazon, Walmart, or Instacart, all right? If you don't know Instacart, like people can order online and you can go deliver. Don't be, I don't know if some of you might speak Yoruba, but maybe some of you don't. But I was saying in English when you see in Yoruba land, which means the money you have earned from wiping people's butt doesn't smell when you go to buy things from at the store, right? So the truth of the matter is, we have this stigma against people that have sales. Do you know the #1 people in the world that make the most amount of money are salespeople, right? People who own companies or business are the one that makes the most amount of money. Look at the guy that has Wazobia. The guy drives an S-Class, S550. What does he sell? He sells fish. He sells, rice that we all go into the store. We're looking all Porsche. The guy's all wealthier than every single person that walks into the store, right? Now, it's okay if you have to deliver for Amazon or deliver for Walmart or Instacart. You're making money. Who cares, right? Drive Uber or Lyft. You are making money in the short term. Your car is a liability, if you don't know that. Anything that takes, if you haven't read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, anything that puts money in your pockets is an asset. Anything that you have to pay every month for is a liability. And if you haven't understand that concept, get that right now. It's really, really important. Your car can be making you money. You can literally be driving Uber and Lyft for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, make the money back, that will pay off your car, and you can get a better car, then you can make more money. It's a short term, okay? You can rent Airbnb. Before COVID started, that would have been a good idea. But right now, you know, people by the coronavirus, that would be a great idea because people probably would not patronize you because they don't want to catch coronavirus. They don't know who stayed in your Airbnb. But people will have houses, or they have like an extra, like, you know, small boys, you know, like a place in their house where you can rent out for people and people pay you for it, right? You know, then you can rent out your car, right? Turo, you know, hire care, you know, that's another opportunity. Get around. Let me talk about selling on Amazon, right? If you guys don't know, right? So when we all go on Amazon and buy stuff, do you know that you can actually become an affiliate with Amazon? And if you don't know what an affiliate means, let me quickly show you guys what an affiliate means. An affiliate means you can, any product. Okay, let me show you guys this. Can you guys see this? Everybody see this? All right. So let's say you bought this thing from Amazon, you bought it from the store. You can make a video while you're unboxing this thing, talk about it, go on Amazon and become an affiliate, put a link in your YouTube channel. People click on that link. When people click, you say, hey, listen, I'm going to talk about this little box of this smart code box to, you know, I just bought it. And that's all people do for a living. You'll buy stuff, right? All the things you buy in your house, you can literally be making videos, posting them on YouTube and become an affiliate. And I'll put the link for the affiliate opportunity for you guys so you can see here. And people will, every time other people buy this product from Amazon, you get a pay cut, literally, okay? Now, finally, if you also, there's another opportunity. I have one of my best friends. He lives next door to me right here. He got laid off. He's a chemical engineer. One of the smartest guy I ever know, right? He got laid off from his job and he was home for 3 years. He went and worked for Amazon, right? He said the job was horrible. I mean, Amazon even pays $16 an hour. If you got to do that for now in the short term, go and do it, right? He's got 3 girls. He worked for Amazon, but he guys is way too smart. So after his work for Amazon, you know what he learned from that? That he can become an Amazon partner. Do you know Amazon? Let me show you their link. It's called logistics.amazon.com. Let me pull it up here. I'll share my screen. So I want to share with you guys to see the opportunities that are out there right now. So you can, if you give me the screen so I can pull up the link for everyone so they can see here.
You should have it now. Okay.
Do you know that you can become an Amazon partner? No. Let me share. Perfect. This is the website. So he used to work for Amazon as just a regular employee. And then now he is managing over 100 drivers for Amazon. And the way the program works is literally, you have to pay for it. It's not cheap, right? You can start the business. It's going to cost you about $10,000, right? It's literally just $10,000. So, you know, but what you become is you become an Amazon, like almost like a retailer, whereby they will provide you the buses. You go hire all these people, you become their manager, and you know how you guys order online and within 1 hour or 2 hours or within a couple of days, somebody has to deliver you. Then you manage all these people. So this guy went from someone who got laid off for 3 years as a chemical engineer, couldn't find a job, go and work for Amazon for $15 an hour, and now he's managing 100 people. This is my best friend. He lives next door to me right here, okay? But that's where I was telling you guys, just because you fail doesn't mean you're a failure. But if you don't open your eyes to the opportunities that are out there, life will always look difficult, okay? The people who get on in this world are people who look for the opportunities they want. If you can't find them, they make them, okay? So I'll wrap that up and have Bradebo, kind of share the last screen because there's one more story we want to, share with you guys today. I'm going to put the links. I put all the links for you guys here in the chat. So you might, and then we open Q&A session for everyone. Okay.
So you can make me the host.
Yeah. Let me do that.
So I think really the message that we just want to pass across is that first, you are not alone. Layoff is not the end of the world. And we can always learn to get back up. So next time, we are just going to be talking about resume for those people that are career or employee oriented that really want to just get back and find another another job. So that's what we'll be talking about next. I think at this point, we'll just go to Q&A and listen to people. Thank you all for listening and thanks for participating. So it's open for question now.
Does anyone have any questions? Let me see. So if you just put on the chat and then you can be able to ask questions. and then we'll answer your question. Let me see. I'm gonna try to look through the chat list here. Okay. While we wait for questions to kind of come in, there's a couple of things that I learned the hard way in life, and is that, you know, our parents, you know, they're wonderful. They've taught us what they know, but they've passed on everything they know to us, and that's pretty much the limit of it. Now the responsibility is on the onus is on us to either grow or we die. If you're not growing, you're dying. Like, you're not physically, you know, you're not dying like dead, but if you're not growing, like learning something new every day, you're actually dying, right? So a lot of the times we are preoccupied with all these things that doesn't add value to our lives, right? We watch a lot of movies, like, we do all the things we have to do as parents and, like responsibilities, but, and then we are so tired, we really don't put a lot of effort to grow, right? And in order to grow, you have to learn, right? So I went to school to become a doctor, but then I've turned into a whole business person in which I had to learn about marketing, sales. I had to learn about, how to build a company. It's like, that's something they never taught me in school, right? I took the initiative to be able to put myself in that situation. So it's not gonna come by magic. So if you don't read, you're not gonna know these things out there. So I put some books here for us. So one of the best books I read was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You see, the funny thing in life is that anything you wanna do, people have already done it, okay? Like anything you actually want to do in life has already been done, except you're trying to invent something like cure cancer or something, but somebody has already thought of that idea. And I read Think and Grow Rich, and if you don't like to read books, there's audio books, right? So you can go on Audible and subscribe to Audible, and you can be in your car. I have learned in the last 7 years, I've read over 50 or 60 books, driving from my car to work, 30 minutes. You might think it's not a lot, but 30 minutes every day or 1 hour every day you see in traffic, and you could have read a whole university worth of information. So I listened to Think and Grow Rich, and that opened my mind. And then I listened to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, when you read these kind of books, right, they open your mind because your employers, their goal is to keep you working for the next 30 or 40 years. And then they give you retirement, right? But if that's what you're banking on, I wouldn't, it's not a good idea, all right? There's no safety net in just having a job. Having a job is just over broke. That's what a job is. They pay us enough to keep coming back next week for the next paycheck. That's all a job is. And if you notice a lot of our lives, like we are kind of wired and almost similar, right? Most people's, their life, I can pretty much predict what most people do, right? They go to work, maybe pick up another job, they raise their kids, they're good parents, they go to church, they party, and then they watch movies and they kind of recycle the thing, right? Majority of people, that's kind of like their life, right? It's work, church, raising children, raising a family, and kind of like that cycle. And they complain over and over. And that's what we call the rat race, right? There's better opportunities, but it's going to take you more work for you to take charge of your life. And this society, they're okay with you working 2-3 jobs, paying you pennies on the dollar to keep you coming back. So until you make that decision and say, you know what, something is missing. You have to question the system. And the people that question the system are called outlaws. They're called misfits. And once you start to, think that way, then you're like, this is the way you can actually, learn something different completely that will allow you to learn a brand new skill. I always tell people, work harder on yourself than you work on your job, right? Let me say that again. Work harder on yourself than you work on your job. If you continue to learn some new skills on the side, right, you will find out at the beginning it will be rough. It's going to be tough. If you saw my first YouTube video that I made, you would think like I'm some gangster kid, right? The video was poor quality. The light was bad. Like, I even laugh at myself. I'm like, how did anybody watch this video? It was horrible. But don't despise the humble beginnings, okay? It's not where you start that matters, right? Just start, right? Do something. Like, and read. The more you read, like, your mind will explode. Like, you'll be like, wow. This information out there, like I tell people, read your Bible because God already given us the foundation, and then read all these other things that will give you knowledge. God has said our people will perish because of lack of knowledge. He's right. Like, the more you know, the more you can grow. So after reading Think and Grow Rich, and then I picked up Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then I understand why people are rich and some people are poor. And the difference between the rich people and the poor people is what they know, guys, and what they do. If you look at somebody that's really poor, they have a certain habit and they have a certain lifestyle. And that lifestyle will continue to spiral. And the people they surround themselves with, right? So, and the people who are, you see that say, oh, these guys, they create companies, they create businesses, right? They also have a way they think. And if you don't read these books, they will never show you, right, how to think like them, right? And then if you want to start a business, I put a good book right here. It's called $100 Startup. It's really good. Sometimes people think you need a lot of money to start your own thing. No, right? The first thing is you be passionate about it. Care so much that it's something that you're willing to do. Do you know, like I'll give you guys a perfect example. My wife used to make fun of me. She said, I'll go to work. I used to work 80 hours as a resident. I will come home at 1 a.m. in the middle of the night. And I'll go take a shower and turn off my camera and start recording a video at 1 a.m. She's like, you need to go to bed. I said, no, I need to make this video. I'll make videos for 3 hours before I go to sleep. Because I'm working harder on myself than I'm working on my job, right? That's the sacrifice we have to make. So in this time of crisis, yes, do Uber, do Lyft. But while you're doing Uber and working for Amazon, look for the opportunities to become, working, not just working for Amazon, becoming a partner. And just be patient. Nothing beats patience. If you're patient, you're passionate, just watch the miracle happen and just pray to God. It's not going to be easy. And if you fail, don't stop. Trust me, I have failed so many, many times. That obstacle is the way. If we don't fail, that's the only, that's one thing I have learned, that the more you fail, the more you become a better human being. The more you can, it grows you, you become a better person, and then you grow. And that's what people see, right? I always tell people look at Pastor Badri, I'm like, were you there when the guy had 3 people in his church and he was still preaching to 3 people pulpit, right? How many people are willing to do that? That's humble beginnings right there. That's what every entrepreneur goes through. That's what we all gonna have to go through if you really want to be successful and make it. But if you put in the work and you work every single day and you don't give up, God will reward you. Trust me, the principles of the universe doesn't change. Whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, right? We Christians, sometimes we look at all these people who we work for and we say they don't believe in God, but we're working for them. So why are we not doing that? They know the principles, guys. Learn it. The beauty for us as Christians is that we used to glorify God. You can see a Christian running a good company, then you want to go work for them. Because most of us hate our jobs anyway. But in this time of crisis, I'm begging you, please open your mind to the opportunities and the possibilities that are out there. It's there. Don't close your eyes. Ask for help, and God will help us in Jesus' name.
So thank you very much, Dr. Leke. So in conclusion, because we plan to have another section, I just want to get a quick feedback. I know there was no question, but if you think that this was helpful in any way, please just go to the chat section and just let me have yes. If I can get the yes, that means we should, of course, go ahead and run the second section. So let's get that feedback. And while we are getting that feedback, I know Bro John Musa, I think he was on the call. Bro John, can you please close us in prayer?
I don't know. We have to let me.
I saw it.
Yes. Okay, I find it. Let me.
Okay, Bro John, can you hear us?
Bro John, I think I put. You can talk now. Oh, does anyone have any questions before we? You can talk if you want to talk. Actually, now I see that option. If you guys, before we finally pray, does anyone have any questions? And if this was helpful and you want us to do this again, just type yes in the chat, because that let us know that you want us to do something like this, because we have another part 2 coming up. If anyone doesn't have questions, I think Bro Musa should be able to talk right now. I don't know. Can you hear us?
Okay. Maybe he's having difficulty.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect.
So can you please close us in prayer, sir?
Father, we give you praise. We give you glory. Thank you for the resources you brought our way. Thank you for the situations everybody's facing right now. Lord, you set this up by yourself. we're praying, Lord, that for everyone listening, it shall be for good in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Lord, you're the one that makes a roadway in the wilderness. The grace to see above the current challenges and see the opportunities. See that roadway through the wilderness, Father, grant unto everyone in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
For those of us, Lord, that still have jobs, this is also an eye-opener on opportunities that are there to make extra money for our family and to invest in kingdom work. Father, help our understanding. Help us to accrue all the knowledge we have. And let us all use it effectively for your praise and glory in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
We lift up all families that are going through one challenges or the other. Father, we are asking, put you on our side. Lord, we are praying. We can turn things around, asking for divine intervention for every family. Let every difficulty with situation be turned to a testimony in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you for your sons you have used to teach us so much today. Father, bless them, prosper them the more, give them more insight. Let them always be a blessing to your church, to open our eyes to see. Let it be well with them and their household, Lord, in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
We give you praise, Lord. We give you glory. Thank you for this privilege again, Lord. It shall not be in vain.
Amen.
In Jesus' most exalted name we pray.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, there was a question. It says, I missed a bit at the beginning. Is it possible for you guys to share the recording of this meeting? The answer is yes, right, Dr. Luke?
Yeah, it's recorded. So we'll once it's done, I'll post it on the church link for people to watch, and we'll put it on our website too.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We wish you the best. Please stay safe, and may God continue to be with everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone. We'll send another link for the next event, so that and if you guys have any questions, feel free to just reach out to us and info@kingsmen.net, kingsmennetwork.com. And
so for a question, bro, Dr. Lake and bro, Engineer Davo, can you, in case people just need like a one-on-one chat, can you provide also your contacts, maybe on the WhatsApp post to the men or the church, just in case when you have time to meet some urgent personnel? Some people may have things they want to talk about, they just don't feel it's right in this open forum. If you could provide those. Some people know there's numbers, but for those who do not know it, just in case they need to reach you guys so they can reach you.
okay. I'll put my email here. This is my personal email. Some of you guys have my number, but that's my email. Just shoot me an email if you have any questions. If you need the links to the websites, because I know we shared a lot of information, I'll put it all together in like a little document, so that and then if you need it, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to share with you guys, just in case you need it.
All right.
All right, we'll finish on time. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, okay? Take care.
Bye.